All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live. Let's get started. You guys know what it is. We're here every single day doing live trades, showing you guys exactly how I make around one to $5,000 a day. So now we have a few people here at the office, and I know you guys are joining online right here on TikTok. So welcome, welcome, as well as WAP. We have a couple people here on WAP as well. So what we're going to be doing today is starting right from the beginning. Okay, so we're gonna go through it right from scratch. So if you've never traded before, if you have some experience, if you've actually traded before and you've lost a lot of money, there's a lot of people with all sorts of experiences, right? Now let's start right off the bat. Now, if you have any questions, make sure you put it in the comments. I'll be going over every single question. Uh, now, this is the sheet that we give to everybody that comes to the office. Now, this has our entire trading strategy in here. Okay. And I'm going to go through it one step at a time with you guys. Now, if you guys on TikTok or WAP, you guys want access to this, all you have to do is go to our website, justsimpletrading.org. And then if you just click the parameters button, it'll download this file right to your computer. Okay. So, uh, if you, let's just go through the first page. Okay. So you guys have the sheet, right? You guys have the sheet here? All right, let's go through the first page. So the first page goes over basically disclaimers on when it comes to trading. Okay. So there's actually three rules that here at Just Simple Trading that we want you guys to always understand. Okay. So when it comes to learning how to trade, obviously there's not millions of dollars to be made in the market. There's not hundreds of thousands of dollars to be made in the market. There's actually billions of dollars to be made in the markets. Okay, but the only problem is that most people don't understand how to enter this business because this is a business. If you really think about it, uh, in Toronto we have Bay Street. In for example New York they have Wall Street. Everyone has their financial hubs, right? Now, how is it that all of these hedge funds, these banks, these institutions that do trading, right? How can they say they make billions and billions of dollars? Because they do, right? Banks obviously are making billions of dollars because they're in the business of trading, right? Like hedge funds, they're trading and they're making billions of dollars. Now, how do we do it? How do they do it? Now, we at Adjustable Trading here, actually, we've been trading, just so you guys understand, we've been trading for over 10 years. We've been profitable for the past over 8 years now. We've actually made millions of dollars doing this, and we give you our entire trading system and trading strategy. Okay. But before you start, there's some things that you guys all should understand. So if you look right here, rule number one is if you're trying to learn how to trade, if anyone is charging you money to learn how to trade, just remember it's a scam. Okay, the moment that someone asks you for money to learn how to trade, they're scamming you. Okay, because let's just be very reasonable. Okay, let's be very logical. If someone has the ability to make money in the markets, why do they need to ask you for money? Right? Like if you have a way to make money in the markets, why do they need to charge you $200? It makes no sense. That's why we always say never pay anyone to learn how to trade. Don't even pay me. As you guys can see, we've started, you have access to everything. You know how you registered at Just Simple Trading? You have access to our over $500,000 system. Did you guys have to pay? No, you didn't. And the reason is because we make around one to $5,000 a day trading. So I don't need to ask anyone for any money. Okay. So the reason they need to charge you money, and this is very important to understand. Like when you're getting into a business, you should understand the industry, right? So if you actually look at all those people who are asking you for money, subscription, you've probably seen buy my trading course, buy my trading system, if you actually look at it, no one will ever be able to show you that they make money in the markets. They'll just show you that here we have a trading system. I'll teach you, pay me. Okay. Now, let me just show you guys right off the bat. Um, then you're probably wondering, okay, well, Mohammed or AKA, are you making money in the markets? Now, here's the thing. Let's go. So this is a live trading account that we started last year in January. So I'll show you our entire trading history because it should be very public. You should be able to ask me any questions you have. You should be able to say, oh, my it died. All right, 1 second. All right, all right. Are we back, guys? Are we back? Okay. They're like, check the mic. It died. All right. So there we go. So basically, I'll show you our entire track record. It should be very public. There's nothing to hide. When it comes to anyone who's claiming, oh, we'll teach you how to make money in the markets. Okay, well, show me your trading history. You should be able to show how much money you're making when it comes to trading. It shouldn't be like mysterious or anything like that. Okay. So here, I'll show you the entire trading history. So we'll go to all, which will show all of our trades. Okay, so here's the thing. You guys can see last night we did these two trades on the live. We made 1,000 and 1,000 there. Okay, these all of these trades were done live. Now you can see obviously we also have losing trades. Remember, it's very normal for everyone to have winning trades and losing trades. Don't expect all your trades to be winning trades, or else you would go to the quadrillions and trillions of dollars very fast. Okay. Um, so you'll see right here, obviously winning trades, losing trades, winning trades, losing trades. Okay. This is our entire track record. Now let's go all the way down. So you can see right here, we actually started this account, timestamp January 3rd, 2024. We started with 200,000 and we've made a profit of 429,000 in the past year and a half. So in the past year and a half, we've made 420, almost 430,000 USD. That's, I think, above 600K Canadian in the past year and a half. That's not bad. This is the same thing as going from 20,000 to 60,000 because it's the same math. It's the same thing as going from 2,000 to 6,000. The math is the same because trading is a percentage based business. So most people, what they want to do is they want to take an account of like 1,000 and then turn it into 20,000 and then go for vacation to Bali. Like, you know what I mean? But here's the thing. Uh, if we look at trading as a business, you want to be able to grow the business over time and create an income from it. Okay. Don't think of, you could, but don't think of trading as like a flip. Everyone wants to flip their money. Let me flip 5 to 20, 20 to 100. Actually, think about it this way. How can I make an extra $100 a day? Actually, that's what most people need. Most people don't need 1K to 5K. I'm telling you, what you really need is like $100 a day, $500 a day, an extra $1,000 a week, an extra 10K a month. That's what you actually need. Okay. So that's where the problem comes because right here you can see my account balance is around 560,000. Now, if I thought like that, oh, I take my 500, 2 million and take my 2 million to 100, you would be like, slow down, So the same way you can see I make $1,000 to $5,000 a day. That sounds like a lot of money, but it really isn't. Okay. Because I'm only clearing around 30 to 50,000 a month USD. It's not really a lot of money on 500K. So let's go to rule number 2. Can they trade live in front of you daily? Okay. If they cannot trade live in front of you daily, well, I do all my trades live. You guys see them, winning trades, losing trades. It's a scam. Okay. If they're hiding behind, like, no, you got to pay before I show you, it's a scam. Okay. Rule number 3, is there a catch? So if someone says, okay, well, I'll give you my trading system, it's like $500,000 or $1 million, but today you get 99% off and you get it for 5,000, it's a scam. Because let's think about it logically again. If there's a trading system that works in the markets, and it's making money, how can it be on sale? This isn't the clearance rack at Winners, okay? This isn't something. It's like a money making machine. If you have it, then why is it on sale? Because really, the only time a trading strategy is on sale is when it's being sold to a hedge fund for billions of dollars. Because if there's a working system that works in the market, if you go to like Wall Street in New York, they will buy your system for hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay. So now that you understand how the business of trading works, let me show you exactly how we make money. Okay, so basically, what is our trading strategy? Now, guys, for anyone who's joining the live, welcome to the live. I'm here every single day. I do all my trades live. I show you guys exactly how I make $1,000 to $5,000 a day. If you want to get started, which you should, I don't know why you're wasting time. There's money to be made every single day. Go to my website. The link is in my bio, akapwc.com, and just follow the steps. It doesn't really get any easier than this. All right, register on Abbado, watch the training video. It's completely free. Access our range bar system. And at any time you need help, either you can come to our office here in Toronto completely for free, or you could just shoot me a message either on TikTok or WhatsApp, or you can text me at any time. Here's the WhatsApp number. All right, so let's go to access system, and then I'll log in. This is our range bar system. Okay. Now it runs on all the markets. So you can see it runs on Forex, which is foreign exchange market. Okay, like currencies, British pound, Japanese yen, all of this. That's Forex. Crypto, obviously, everyone knows what crypto is. Uh, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, all those. And then commodities and indices, which is like, gold, oil. Those are commodities. And then indices is like Nasdaq, S&P 500. You hear about all of these markets. And then stocks, obviously everyone knows what stocks are. So we have like Meta, Google, Nvidia, AMD, Amazon, Tesla. So we have all the major stocks. So this is where our range bar system runs. Now we have a few questions here on TikTok. Nazam is saying, what's the best amount of money to start with? Now here's the thing. It's totally up to you. Everyone asks how much to start with. Actually, the funny thing everyone asks me is, hey, AKA, or hey, Mohammed, what's the minimum I can start with? Well, the minimum is actually even $10. So you can start with whatever you want. But remember what I said, trading is a percentage-based business. So if you're making percentages on $10, it's not going to be the same as making any percentages on 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000. But you can start with whatever you want, basically. We always say you should actually start with as much as possible, and then you risk as little as possible. So let me say that again. You should start with as much as possible, then risk as little as possible. Like, for example, I have people that come and they're like, can I start with 50K? I'm like, sure, start with 50K and then risk $1 per trade. And they're like, wait, what? Why would I start with 50,000 and then risk one? Because here's the thing, if you can learn how to make slow and steady income on a daily basis, on 50K, if you can make $100 a day, look, your risk will be $20 per trade or $10 per trade. So the risk is so small, but you're making 50, 100, $200 a day. That's great. What most people do is the opposite. They start with as little as possible, then they risk as much as possible. That's the problem. You'll start with like 100 or 200, but then you want to make 200 or 500 a day. Now you're trying to make like 200%, 500% a day. The banks are giving you 2% a day. A year, 2% a year, and you're trying to make 500% a day. Makes no sense. You know what I mean? We have to be logical. Um, so that's how trading works. Sergey is asking, on which platform do you trade? So we're trading on Abbado.com, ABBADO.com. That's where I'm trading. Here, let me open it for you guys. Right here, Abbado.com. Now, the reason we're using Abbado is, so first of all, they have the lowest trading fees. They're regulated and licensed, so it's safe and secure here. Let me zoom in here so you guys can see it. Right there, Abbado.com. Go get your account set up on Abbado.com, get it verified, get it funded, and start trading. And what I would say is risk as little as possible. All right. Now, all the links are in my bio. What's Are prop firms good way of learning? No, so prop firms are actually, what I think is, it's a waste of money, because most likely, most people are already very stressed when they're trading because it's your money on the line, right? Now, if I add even more stress to it, you're going to be super stressed and then you won't be able to think clearly. So that's why I don't do prop firms. I just fund my account and risk as little as possible. Okay, so let's actually make our way through this sheet. Okay, let's go to page 2. Okay, let's go to page 2. Now, at the bottom here, you guys can see we've made a chart for the max amount of risk we would do per trade and how do you do it. Okay, so let's say we have $1,000 account. The max lot size I would use is 0.1. Okay, and what that would mean is our risk is only $10. So on $1,000, the maximum risk I would do is a $10 trade, which is pretty small. But remember, it's about building an income, an extra 10, 50, $100 a day rather than flipping the account. Okay. All right. So let's actually open up the chart and let me go through how trading actually works. Okay. So for anyone who's never done trading before, let me show you Um, why I would rather be a trader rather than an investor. When it comes to trading, we actually have two options here. Okay. So we have either the buy trade option or we have a sell trade option. Okay. Now, what do these two mean? If I click the buy button, and guys, remember, I could do this on any market. I could do it on currencies. I could do it on crypto. I can do it on stocks. I can do it on commodities like gold, oil, coffee. I can do it on anything. And then we also have, so if I click buy on any market and the price goes up, I make profit. That makes sense to everybody. Okay, that's very simple to understand. But here's the crazy thing. If I was to click sell instead of clicking buy, and remember, I don't have to buy to sell or sell to buy. These are completely separate. If I just click the sell button and any market goes down, I can make money. So we can make money whether the markets are going up or the markets are going down. This is a crazy thing about trading. When you invest, you can only make money if it goes up. If it comes down, what happens? We lose money. But in trading, we have the two options. So if I click buy, we can make money if it goes up. If I click sell, we can make money on the way down. Any questions so far? Okay. Now, this right here, this is called the lot size, which is the third, I guess, option here. Okay. This is the size of our contract. Because what we're doing is we're entering contracts in the market, a buy contract or a sell contract. You might have heard like, oh, a long position or a short position in the market. Oh, they're shorting the market. You probably hear, or you might have watched the movie The Big Short or whatever it is. Now, how do we determine the size of our trade? How big our trade is going to be? That, or big or small, that's going to be determined by the lot size. Okay, so the smallest lot size you can do is actually 0.01. If I do a 0.01 lot size trade, so if I make this 0.01 and I click buy, my trade is going to be in the pennies, in the cents. Very small, like up or down a few 10 cents, 20 cents, 30. So that's why when it comes to trading, we can start practicing really small, which is great. Like we can fund our account with 5K, 10K, 100K, 500K, a million, but we can still start very small, which is great. Okay. And then if you go, let's say I go 0.1, now what's going to happen is my trade will be in the dollars. Okay, so it'll be like $1, $2, $5, $10, like that. Okay. Then if I do one full lot size, it'll go in the tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 100. Okay. So you guys see how we control our risk on every trade. Okay, now here's the crazy thing. Remember how I was saying we can all do the same trade? So let's say I do a 0.01 lot size trade. You do a zero point 0.1 lot size trade, and you do a 1 lot size trade. So 10 times you do of what I did, and he does 10 times of what you do. Okay. And let's say we hit take profit on the trade. We set our take profit stop loss, same place. I hit take profit, I made $1. You hit take profit, you made $10. You hit take profit, you made $100. Same trade. We click buy at the same time. We set our stop loss and take profit at the same place. But because our lot size was 10 times, 10 times, we made different amounts. This is how the hedge funds and the banks and everyone end up making hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, because they're trading. They're just trading at large size. Okay. Uh, does everything make sense so far? Very clear. Okay, nice. So which commodities and which stocks do we trade? All right. So basically, our system here, adjustable trading. You can see we have 6 different forex pairs that we have available that we can trade. Now, obviously, like if you go to Abbado, you can trade any market, but our system runs on just these markets over here. Okay, uh, so you can see right here on crypto, it runs on Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Commodities and indices. So XAU is gold. So you can see where it says XAU. The top one is XAU. This one is Nasdaq. You see NDQ 100. and then Russell 2000, S&P, and then WTI is oil. Okay. And then if you go to stocks, you can see this one is Tesla, and then Google, Meta, which is Facebook, Nvidia, AMD, and Amazon. Okay, so basically you can look at the range bars on any of these markets, and then we just go to Abbado and then we do the trades on Abbado. Okay, so our system runs on Just Simple Trading, our website, and then we have to do the trade somewhere, so we go use Abbado to do the trades. All right, code 18 is saying, do you trade crypto too? Yeah, for sure. So on Abbado, you can trade all the markets, and our system runs on all the markets. Okay. All right, yo, what up, Positive? What's going on? All right, let's see here. So, let's see if we can do a trade. Okay, let's see if we can do a trade. So, you can see right here, the super trend is green. Now, the super trend, I'll show you guys how to. Do you guys have the chart open or no? Okay, so you're probably here, right? Okay, so what I'll get you to do is just to practice right now. Right here, click account type. By the way, if you guys want to follow along, go to abbado.com, abbado.com, get your account registered, and then just follow along here. And then click demo. Got it? All right, and then click create. Got it? And then down here, you'll see demo with like $1 million balance. Okay, and then click access platform. There should be a blue button here for you guys. You see it? All right, so now you have the chart open? Yeah, you have the chart. Can you just me? You got it. You got the chart open too? Yes. Okay, perfect. So now what you're going to do is you're going to add the super trend indicator. Okay, so let's click indicators at the top. Go to the indicator store, the yellow button. And then right up here where it says search by name, you're going to just type super and click enter. All right. So now once you've clicked right here, click super trend. And now you'll see the button that says install. Okay, so click install. It says add to terminal. Click OK. Do you guys have it installed now? He's done. He got it? Okay, perfect. Now you can click this X button to X out of this window. Now let's go back to indicators. And now you'll see right here the super trend. You see it? Yeah. Click super trend and click apply. So now you got the green and red line, right? Okay, perfect. So now I'll tell you how we use the super trend. So the super trend shows us the overall trend in the market. If it's green, that means overall we're going up. If it's red, it means overall we're going down. Okay. Now, when the super trend is green, we're only looking for buy trades. Okay. Remember, if I click buy and the market goes up, we make money, right? So if it's green, that means we're looking for buy trades. If it's red, we're only looking for sell trades. Okay. Now, how do I know when to click buy or sell? The range bars will show us the reversal. Okay. So we can't see all the screens. Yeah, so I'll show you guys right here, code 18, exactly what I'm doing, so you'll be able to see everything. Alexandra saying, is this indicator just for Windows? No, it runs on Mac or Windows or mobile. It runs on everywhere, on all the different platforms. S is saying, can anyone learn Forex trading? Yeah, but here's the thing. A lot of people come to me and they're like, I want to learn Forex. But here's the thing. We can make money on any market. So it's not just Forex. You can trade stocks. You can trade commodities. You can trade indices. You can trade whatever. So don't limit yourself to one type of market. There's no reason to. All right. So how do the range bars work? Now, this system that you guys see running on all of these screens here, basically, this took us over 4 years and over $500,000 to develop and test and create. And we just give it to you guys completely for free. Okay, so you guys can have it. Now, how does it work? Remember, the markets only go two ways. The market goes up or down. There's no other ways. It doesn't go sideways or left or right. It just goes up or down. Now, when it's going down, what's the only other way it can go, up, right? So what we want to do is we want to find the point where it does a reversal. So when it's going down, as soon as it starts to go back up, that's the point we're looking for because that's where we want to buy. And then when it's going up, what's the only other way it can go? Down. So what we want to do is we want to find that point where it's reversing, right? Now, how do we see it? We see it on the range bars. So you can see right here, we were in a downtrend, and right there is where we are getting this reversal. But this is where we want to enter a buy trade, right? So right here, we want to enter a buy trade. Imagine entering a buy trade. Look, we went high. That would have been a great trade. And then right here, you can see we were green and then we went red. So if I enter a sell trade here, look at how far the market came down. Great trade, profit right there. Now, the one thing that we want to do is we always want to confirm. Okay, so remember how we were looking at the super trend. If the super trend is green, we're only looking for buy trades. Okay, so you see right here, it goes from red to green. Okay, so now we know, okay, red to green, buy. And then I just want to go back here and make sure this is also green. We just want to confirm. So if both things are green, then I want to enter a buy trade. Does that make sense? And if both things are red, then we want to enter a sell trade. So if one thing is green and super trend is red, I'm not going to enter. They both have to confirm. So now, I know it's like your first day, but what it really comes down to is just practice and learning, and you spend a little bit of time, and you'll kind of understand how.
Super trend is an option for trades or like what?
So
How we
super,
configure like it's a green and super trend is red, like what that means.
yeah. So what that means is, for example, let me show you guys right here. So you see right here, the super trend is red, which means you see from here, we've actually come down, right? Like overall, we came down. But even during that downtrend, we had these push, like where the market pushed up. Because remember, the market doesn't just go straight up, straight down. It goes in waves.
It's based on overall market.
Super trend is showing us the overall trend on any market. It's just an indicator. Okay, so it
That's
uses
what I mean.
exactly. So it uses data to show us, in another way,
For everything like forex or for
you can
crypto.
apply it to any chart. Because you know how you guys installed the super trend indicator? Now you can use it on any chart. So when you open the chart, so let's say I go here, NASDAQ, I can just click indicators, super trend, I add it, and it's there. Okay. So, how to add the super trend indicator on mobile? So I think if you just go, I think you first need to add it on a computer, and then if you go to the indicators on your phone, you can add it there. But you first need to install it using a computer, I think. Um, Sandra's saying, bro, do you teach one-on-one? Yeah, if you want, you can always give me a call or schedule a one-on-one session. Just go to my website, akpwc.com. You can schedule the one-on-one session there. Levy saying tapped in. Levy, welcome back to the live. OG. All right, let's start. Now I'm gonna see if there's any trade we can take so you guys can see how it actually works. Okay, so let's see what's going on right here on Nasdaq. Okay, so you see right here on Nasdaq, we're going down and we're getting a reversal, right? So what am I looking for here? Buy trade, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here, and you see super trend is also green. Okay, super trend is also green. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead. I'll enter a buy trade right there. Okay, so there's my buy trade open on Nasdaq. Now what I'm going to do is we set these two limits that are called stop loss and take profit. Now what that does is, so you can see right here on the left side, I'm going to click and drag this down to about $1,000. So this is going to be a live $1,000 trade. Okay. And now I'm going to let go. Now what this does is if the market goes down, I can minimize my risk. So the max I can lose on this trade is just 1,000. Okay. Now, obviously, when you guys do it with a smaller lot size, you will drag it to the same place, but it'll be worth $1 or $10 or whatever it is that you want to risk on that trade. Now, the second thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to set my take profit, which is if the market goes there, it'll close the trade in profit. So how do I do that? I just click and drag this up to about 1,000 and I let go. Now I have my stop loss and my take profit both set. Does that make sense?
So it all automatically stops.
Yeah, so you'll see it will automatically, kick us out of the trade. So right there, we hit stop loss on that trade. Okay, so that one was $1,000 stop loss. Okay, but remember the risk. I know it sounds like a lot, $1,000, but the risk on this trade is about less than a quarter of a percent. So if you had $1,000 account, I'm risking the same thing as if you were risking on $1,000, $2. If you lost $2 on $1,000 account, would you be worried? No, you would be like, it's so small, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm doing here.
What amount you invested right now?
Thousand.
1,000, and
Yeah.
you put the risk on the same amount. 1,000.
Exactly. So we're either trying to make 1,000 or we would lose 1,000. Okay. Um, so all right. So we're getting a lot of questions here, and those are good questions too. So keep the questions coming. Okay. So I don't have Nasdaq on Abbado 90. So basically, to get Nasdaq on Abbado, it's USA 100. So let me zoom in here so you guys can see. Nasdaq on Abbado is USA 100. So if you just search USA 100 on the top left corner, you'll be able uh, to to see Nasdaq, and then you can open the chart right there. All right. Now, let's see what's going on with the range bars. All right, so we're having a little bit of a pullback here on Nasdaq. So let me go ahead and see if we can take another trade here on Nasdaq. So I just entered a buy trade, and I'm going to follow the same steps over and over again. Okay, set my stop loss, set my take profit. Um, and here's the thing, I do the same thing on every single market every single day. That's basically how I end up making, because obviously we lose some trades, we win some trades, and overall I average out around 1 to 5,000 a day doing this. Obviously that means I lost some trades and I won some trades, I lost, but at the end of the day, that's what it ends up just being. Um,
And is there any specific sessions timing for the market or
so
anytime?
I actually trade anytime. Usually around 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. our time here, Eastern, the market's very volatile. It's moving like crazy because the market's just opening, so there's a lot of volume. And then usually around 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, our time, is very volatile because like Asia session is opening, and so the nice thing is we can trade all the sessions. It really doesn't matter. We can trade at any time. Whenever you have an extra half hour or an hour to sit, just take some
So
trades.
is there different slots within the 24-hour span for the trading or?
Yeah, so basically, like around like 4 to 5, 4 to 6, like for a little bit of time, the markets are closed, but not crypto. Crypto is 24/7. Okay, so we can trade any market. Now, a lot of people they come to me and they're like, "Oh, but I don't really trust crypto," or like they say these things. But here's the thing: I actually don't care whether any market goes up or down. I don't care about Bitcoin. I don't care about gold. I don't care about Tesla. I don't care about any of these markets. I don't care if it goes to a million or zero. Because if it's going up, great. I enter buy trades, I make money. And if it's going down, no problem. I enter sell trades and I still make money. So all of those things, remember, it's just human bias. And anytime there's human bias involved, you will guaranteed lose money. Okay. Because the markets don't have any emotions, we shouldn't have any emotions either. The only reason a lot of people are very scared when it comes to trading is because you're risking too much. There's too much risk. You know, um, I'll give you an example. Like if you're trading, let's say you have $100 account, okay, and you're risking $100, would you be worried? Yeah, it's 100% of your account. You're risking your whole account. You would be worried. But if you're risking $100 on $50,000, are you worried?
No.
No. Why? It's the same $100. Why aren't you worried? Because the percentage is
Investment
so
amount is
exactly. So it's really about controlling your risk. You know, what I'm trying to show you guys here is how to start your trading business. We don't do any gambling or anything like that here. It's a very strict strategy I follow every single day. It's so funny. A lot of people come and they're like, "Yo, Mohammed," or AKA, you say the same thing every single day. I'm like, yeah, unfortunately, I also make $1,000 to $5,000 a day, every day. And it's very annoying. It's just like, that's the problem. I'm actually stuck at making 1 to 5K a day. Um, because I don't have like 10 million or 50 million or 100 million. And that's basically what the goal is of me doing. That's basically why I'm here is I need someone to walk through that door or message me on TikTok or whatever, saying like, "Hey, look, I have 100 million or 500 million," because that's the real goal. And I'm showing you guys how you guys can also, if you can build a track record like we have. What's a track record? It's a history of trades, and you can show, "Hey, look, I can make 2% a month, 3% a month." Do you know what that means? That's like on $1,000. If you can consistently make $20 a month, doesn't sound like a lot, right? But if you can do that, there's a potential for you to be able to go out and raise a few $1 million, because the banks are only giving like 2-3% a year. If you can give 10-20% a year, that's crazy, right? So that's how a trading business works. That's how these hedge funds and all these funds work, is because they have a track record. Then they go out and they raise a few hundred million, and now they're managing billions of dollars, and they just take a management fee. And that management fee ends up being millions and millions of dollars. It's not really their money. They're using the investors' money, but you make them 2% a month, they're more than happy. Okay, so that's how trading business really works. All right. We got a whole bunch of questions right here. Where's the location? All right, guys. So if you guys want the office address, it's right here. Let me show you guys. Our office is in Toronto, in Mississauga. Take a screenshot right now. Come visit us in person. I'm here 7 days a week, every single day. Take a screenshot right here. All right. And then, yeah, just come visit me in person. All right. Market buy or limit flip. So I always just do market orders. What does that mean? That means I just click buy or sell. Limit orders is where you set the price and all this. I don't do any of that. When I see the reversal, I just enter the trade.
So we are just following the green or the red
Yeah, and the range
indicator.
bars. And the range bars. So the range bars will show us the reversal. So when the range bars go from green to red, I just go here. Is it red? If it is, both confirm, right? Red and red. I enter a sell trade. And the opposite as well. All right. Chris is asking, if you take a trade, how do you analyze if you should buy or sell? So basically, what I'm doing is I'm always just confirming with the range bars. So right here, if the range bars, and you guys have probably seen, if have you ever looked into trading, like watch YouTube videos or anything like that? So you see people do a lot of what's called technical analysis. They draw lines on a chart. They're drawing lines and they're saying, oh, this limit, this level, all of this. It's all nonsense. It's all fake. It doesn't work. No one, look, I've been online for like many, many, many years. And I've been saying, look, if anyone's drawing lines on their chart and you're making money trading, come visit me in person, show me. Not one person has ever come. This is an open invitation. Anyone online, if you're making money consistently, and I'm not saying in one day you made some money. I'm saying if you because I can show you years of trading history that we have. If you can show me at least like 2 to 5 years of track record, uh, come to the office, show me. But nobody has been able to do that. So this is basically how our strategy works. I'll show you guys how to fund the account. It's actually very simple. So on Abbado, if you click your email on the top right corner, okay, and then you click deposit funds right here. Now they have two options here, bank transfer or crypto, Apple Pay, debit or credit. Okay, so usually have you guys ever done crypto transfers before? No? Okay, so usually bank transfer is the easiest. So you just click proceed here. Now right here, they give you their bank information. So you just go to the bank and you say, I just want to do a wire transfer. Okay. You do a wire transfer and then you email them right here a picture of your transfer. So once you do a bank transfer, they'll give you a receipt. Just take a picture, email it to them, and they'll fund your account. Usually takes about 1 to 3 days. Okay. So it's best to like get that process started right away. So at least you can start practicing. And then, or if you've done crypto, it's actually very simple. You just enter the amount. So if you want to do like 1,000 or 5,000, whatever you want to start with, there's no minimum or maximum. The minimum is $10, so you can actually start with whatever. Max per transaction is 1 million. So you can go get your account funded and started right away. Crypto deposits are instant. It's like 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. It's in your account. You get started right away. All right. Um, Chris is saying, I know multiple people that have a 75% win rate on his analysis. Uh, this is a video recorded, I think. Arif, Virginia is saying, no, it's very much not recorded. I'm here live. uh, what app are you using? So I'm trading on Abbado.com. How can I use your system, please? You want to start now? Spicy King, for sure. So go to the link in my bio. You can just go to my website, akapwc.com, and then go get your account set up. The steps are all there. And go to abbado.com, abbado.com. That's where I'm trading. They're licensed, they're regulated. I've been using licensed and regulated just means safe and secure. Okay. I've been using them for about 2 years now. It's been really good. Their customer service is excellent. Anytime anyone's had any questions, they have a WhatsApp chat right on their website. So if you have any questions, you can just message them direct. So go to abbado.com, abbado.com. Lula is asking the right question. How much are the fees? This is the reason, this is one of the big reasons that we use Abbado is because if you see right here, I'll go to the order history. You can see right here, it's zero commission and zero swaps. What does that mean? Commission is every time you enter a trade, they charge you like $5, $10. Over here, they have zero commission. And then what is swap? Swaps are when you, let's say you enter a buy trade and the trade doesn't hit take profit or stop loss and it stays open overnight, they charge you interest on it. Some platforms. But over here, zero swaps. So you can keep the trade open as long as you want. There's no interest charged. Okay. And then if you look at the spread is the difference between the buy and sell price. Have you guys ever done a currency exchange before? You know how there's two prices, the buy and sell, right? The difference is where the guy sitting there is making his money. Because let's say you want to buy, he gives you at a higher price. If you want to sell, he'll buy for a lower price. So they make what's in between. The same way brokers also make money on what's called the spread. Now you always want to find the brokers with the thinnest spread, the lowest fee, right? So if you look at Abbado, their spreads are super low spreads. So this is why we're trading on Abbado, licensed, regulated, and the lowest trading fees. All right, so right here, you guys see how the super trend just went red? So now we're looking for sell trades. Okay, so let's go over and let's see what's going on the range bars for NASDAQ. All right, so we're in a downtrend and we're having a push up, which means that we're getting